All right, bro, let's go and get into it. Since we in the home stretch of the NFL season, we about to be even closer to the playoffs. I want to talk about each conference right now and, how I feel they're going to finish out the season and how they're going to look in the playoffs. And I'm talking about the NFC today, then maybe today I drop the AFC or maybe tomorrow. It depends on how many likes this video get. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the NFC. So the best team in this conference, like throughout the whole season, has been the Philadelphia Eagles. But in my opinion, I think they have been mid all season. It's finally rearing its ugly head now because now they lost to the two best teams in the conference with them in the Cowboys and the 49ers. And it's not, and these are not losses that you can say, oh, okay. If they had this play go right, if they had this play go right, they're getting blown out in these losses. So I don't know what's going on right now. Because I know Jalen Hurts, he's been going through a lot this season with the injury bug. They've been trying to draw a run plays for him. He just don't have that quickness he had before the injury. He wasn't really even a quick burst runner anyway. Just if you get that knee injury, now you just basically like a Tim Tebow type, Will Levis type, where he just or like one of those Broadway type runs. Like he clearly not the same. Then yeah, and defense is like it looked like they're more prepared to stop the Eagles' passing attack now. The Eagles play call also has went through a significant change because now they offensive coordinator went to the Colts. What's his name? Steve Sykin or something like that. Yeah, he went to the Colts. Now they got this new OC, Brian Johnson, because since he was closer to Jalen Hurts, because Brian Johnson, he was I believe that's his name, was the QB's coach. So him and Jalen Hurts had a good relationship. So they just promoted him to the OC job, and they thought he was gonna do like a significant good job. But he's been fairly inconsistent himself this year. That's why the offense as a whole been looking inconsistent. The defense, I don't know what's happened to this defense, though. I just don't know. Maybe the loss of C.J. Gardner-Johnson and a couple of T.J. Edwards, for example, and a couple other pieces. They missed them a lot because this defense has fallen out tremendously. Like they already wasn't a good run stopping team, but the fact is now folks is running the ball on you. Now folks can also pass the ball on you. Like they thought the addition of Kevin Byard from Tennessee was going to help him, and it looked like Philadelphia fans has not been liking the addition so far because he really haven't been making splash plays like that. Yeah, he got one pick, but he been getting he been getting rallied up. He haven't been breaking up plays like he used to. And folks thought the Tennessee Titans got fleeced in that. When in reality, they got more for Kevin Byard than the coach did for Stephon Gilmore, and Stephon Gilmore is a better asset right now. So what that tell you? They thought we actually got fleeced in that deal. That was laughable. A fifth and a sixth for Kevin Byard, you take that any day of the week. I'll go Q1 and a fourth, but since he's an older player and his contract is very expensive, yeah, you're not gonna get the return you would like on an asset like that. So yeah, the Eagles, if they don't turn things around quickly, they would be a one and done in my opinion, and it won't be like a good sight either because, yeah, the fans would not appreciate that, especially after the Super Bowl berth they had and their expectations coming into this season and how they started this season. Yeah, I don't know how you can come back from that. So the next team we'll talk about in the NFC is the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Dallas Cowboys, I thought was going to be in the same position the Eagles in right now. A mid team that's struggling to, get out the gates, all of that. They've been actually fairly elite this season. Dak Prescott, yeah, he started out slow in Mike McCarthy's new what he called the Dallas Coast offense, whatever you call it, basically like the West Coast system, and you can just dink and dunk your way. Dog, ever since he got adjusted to this scheme, Dak Prescott has been having an MVP caliber season. He just has. And now, since they don't rely on the West Coast offense as much, and they've been dialing those deeper routes down the field, now we're seeing the Dallas Cowboys offense being unlocked. CeeDee Lamb, he's been having a great season. No, there's still debates whether he a top 10 receiver. Oh, it doesn't. In my opinion, I probably think I have him at 10 because especially with the receivers I had from him at the time, they either aged out or they just been injury prone. And one of the two. Tony Pollard, he had a slow start to the season, but that was expected with the broken foot I believe he had, and now he's recovered. He's reigning in the form. Their offensive line has improved. What else I can say? Now, they defense, they lost Trayvon Diggs, and somehow their defense has not missed a beat whatsoever. And that's very impressive to me. Now, Deron Blunt, he did get tested in that Seahawks game because they saw something on tape that they thought he was sweet. But besides that game, he's been like a turnover like magnet, dog. Like I think how many pick six he got? Like what, 5 or 6 or something like that? And I'm talking about pick six, not just the picks itself, pick six. He been tremendous this season. Stephon Gilmore, I wouldn't say he had a great season. I feel like it's been very up and down because from the start of the season, it looked like, oh man, is this another washed DB the Cowboys picked up? But he been feeling good, and especially after the last night game against AJ Brown. He put the clamps on AJ Brown. It got to a point that AJ Brown just kept pushing the sub in each play because of how frustrated he was. Stephon Gilmore was just doing anything to irritate. Like, for example, a ball, it was like a dead ball, and Jalen Hurts had to throw it in the dirt. Stephon Gilmore pushed him, and freaking AJ Brown didn't like that. It was just stuff like that was getting under AJ Brown's skin, and I believe Stephon Gilmore knew he was doing. Like, this is not some like average corner. He's one of the smartest in the league. He knew what to tick out AJ Brown, what to what not to do and stuff like that. And I believe that's fair. Oh, and we all know Michael Parsons. To be honest, I don't know how they got him in the defensive player ranking list because I haven't seen it in a long time. I just know it was like between like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt at some point. I haven't seen it since then, but Michael Parsons, he definitely has a case for defensive player of the year himself. And yeah, that's all I got to say about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, how I think they're going to fare in the playoffs, I feel like they can get to a conference championship game. I believe this is the year they can get to a conference championship game, but the next team I'm about to talk about, they're going to have to get through them, and that is the 49ers. The 49ers, dude, this team is like on a collision course of going back to the Super Bowl because this team has been dialed in from the start. Now, they did have a little blimp in the road when, Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel had to miss time, and they lost like 3 straight games to the Browns, Vikings, and I forgot the other team. It was another team in that list. I forgot the name. But, yeah, they lost 3 straight games. Folks thought it was like, is trouble brewing? What's going on with Brock Purdy and stuff like that. But ever since that Browns game, he been turning it ever since. Well, no, not the Browns game. Okay, so the other team they lost to was the Bengals. So yeah, ever since that Bengals game, Brock Purdy has been redialed in. The run attack. That's what they thrive on right there, bro. Because if they run attack not getting going, maybe you can get the 49ers off their game a little bit. But their run attack has been like great. With CMC, I think he had a couple games stretch where he was getting touchdowns every game. I'm very impressed with the 49ers. Now, the 49ers also made like additions to the defense. They traded for Randy Gregory. I didn't understand that move, to be honest with you. They also traded for Chase Young. Now, I definitely understood that move. You adding depth to your D-line, and he's like one of the quick, explosive pass rushers there is. Now, he is on a 1-year deal, basically, because, he going to be a free agent since the Washington Commanders, they pick up his 5th-year option. But this is a great 1-year rental, especially if you can win the Super Bowl. And if you can bring him back for cheap, you do that like 10 times out of 10. Because I believe this D-line is special with Bosa, Hargrave, I believe, Drake Jackson, I believe he's on the D-line. And I know they had Chase, I know they got Randy Gregory, but I feel like I missed a couple people. Then you have Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw. Then you have Travarius Ward on the outside. I believe something Lenore. I forgot his first name, but you have Lenore. Then you have that other corner. I forgot his name. And I forget the backside. I know Hufanga got hurt. I think he's out for the season. If I believe, I could be wrong in that. If I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comment section. And I believe it's Gibson in the back end too. So yeah, this defense has been like consistent all season, except for like a few games here and there. They offense had blip in the roll itself, but they picked it up ever since. And yeah, and they do have a couple guys they have to worry about free agency. Like for example, one of those guys being Brandon Ayuk, and they most likely probably gonna lose him in free agency. But if you can win a championship, it doesn't matter, to be honest with you, because that is basically the end goal, and you can just drive and try to replace Brandon Ayuk services on that end. Okay, so talk about the three elite teams in this conference. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions is a very interesting group because the first week of the season they beat the Chiefs. Okay, then they went on they run. But I just don't know with them because Thanksgiving Day, they ended up just getting like demolished, I believe, by the Packers. Like Jordan Love was having himself a day, and the Detroit Lions literally had no answer. Jared Goff, he had a disaster class of a performance on Thanksgiving Day. That was embarrassing. Then last week, or basically yesterday, that man Jared Goff he's just not it at the QB position, dog. Like I understand they are winning 10, like what, they 9-4, I believe. But I don't think they going to get it done with Jared Goff. But at the end of the day, if you're the Detroit Lions and you can make a playoff appearance with Jared Goff as a QB, it doesn't matter if you be a one and done. Making the playoffs is a successful season. I understand the end goal is to win a championship, but you gotta take it one step at a time, especially from the losing season they've been through. You gotta take it one step at a time, and then off this season, just build off it and don't revert back to what you were back in the day. Losing team. Just keep building. Maybe they try to swing a trade or something for a new QB, or they just stick out with Jared Goff and and try to figure it out that way, or draft the QB like folks thought they was gonna do, and make him sit behind Jared Goff for a year and go from there. But they did draft Hendon Hooker though, and he's been activated off the injury reserve list, so we could see probably him in the future. Never know. And as speaking of Jared Goff, the one receiver I have a problem with them not using as much as they should have or should be is Jameson Williams. Now Jameson Williams, he came into the league and he's been recognized as a deep threat, right? But he's also one of those guys that you can give the ball in space and he can create for himself. But the Detroit Lions has not been using him like that. Instead, it's just been using him as a decoy receiver in his time there. And then on a couple passes where he's breaking open, Jared Goff has not been connected with him at all this season. But the one receiver he's been connecting with was Sam Laporta. Now, him and Jared Goff has been having a good connection as of late, and Laporta has been having a good rookie season so far. They defense, Aiden Hutchinson, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's been kind of underwhelming to me. The only standout person I see on their defense is Brian Branch from Alabama, because he's one of the most experienced DBs they have. Inexperienced DBs they have. But you can tell he's one of the most refined players on their team by far, and he's been one of the most productive as well. And I believe, what's the other DB name? He been making plays as well. I can't think of his name right now. I may put it on the screen, but yeah, he's also been effective. Okay, so yeah, I believe those are the NFC teams I want to talk about. At least this is another one. Now the Vikings, I also thought they was going to do something, but it looked like Josh Dobbs has reverted back to what he was prior to the Cardinals stint and the early days of this stint. The Bears, I believe they have a lot of question marks because the Bears, what they gonna do with Justin Fields, what they going to do to refine this receiving group. because they do have 2 first-round picks, so they have a lot of ammo to fix this right now. They got question marks at offensive lineman a little bit. So, yeah, I'm trying to see what's another team I could talk about. I believe that's all the teams I could talk about today because that was the team that I actually care about. And part 2 to this video is gonna be talking about the AFC. So yeah, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. This is your boy Trill, and I'm out.